What's going on, everybody? Doing a little live today. Like always, give it a couple minutes for people to get on, to say hello, etc., etc., etc. The title, it says Q&A, which I try to do when I do go live. However, I am going to now get back into weekly live streams because I took a massive break off doing a Jeep build and doing everything. So, Friggy Jr., hello. Hello, Jessica. Evening, Becky. So anyways, in the title, it says, what project should I do next? It's kind of just throwing that out there as a title, but you never know. You never know what I want to do next and what I'm going to be trying to do. And I mean, overall goal is to have some sort of tiny home van life community. I think that is the ultimate goal for a lot of people that are in my position. I'm gonna lower my seat because my feet are like not touching the ground. So good stuff. So how is everybody going? How's everybody doing? Everybody else doing some cool projects out there? But anyways, you guys do have some questions. Now is the time to ask me. I did a live about 2 weeks ago with my buddy Christian was in the background, and I felt it was a really good live. We went for like 2 hours unexpectedly, and honestly, it was nice to be very open and honest with everybody. So I'm kind of wanted to do that now. I want to just be, I'm going to be upfront. You guys have a question, I'm going to seriously just say it. I am going to put down my other channel link down in the box or like chat box. That is my other channel. That is Who's This Effing Guy? Why is that important? Because I'm going to be revamping the podcast. The podcast is coming back, and I'm not going to put it on this channel. I know I talked about, or anybody that's a loyal subscriber that watches pretty much all my videos, I've talked about how I'm going to be placing videos, my podcast on this platform, and I'm not. I decided to go to the other platform because I really don't want to screw up the algorithm. I also don't want to screw up if you're anybody that doesn't want to watch that, because I'm going to be pretty real and raw. So drinking my green juice, by the way. Yeah, that's my comedy channel. Applying for my first job now, or excuse me, you said green. You said applying for my first job to afford my tiny home. That's awesome. I think I posted on Instagram recently, and I mentioned that when I did my first van, because I'm coming up on, I think, my 4-year anniversary of building, but I started doing research 6 months prior to doing my van build. So it's been about 4.5 years total of doing all this. And then I actually didn't start my YouTube channel until 2018. So I took a long time before I started my channel. But anyways, where was I going with that? The job. So for 6 months, I worked 2 full-time jobs to afford my first van, which I guess would be a tiny home. I worked overnight, full-time, 5 days a week, and I worked as like I don't even know what to call this, but I worked at like a high-end grocery store, and I was one of the managers, and I did that for like 6 months. It was hard. It was really hard, actually. And what really sucks is I worked like 146 days straight. I counted it once. 146 days. That's just shy of 6 months. I did that straight. So people that want to do it, like Green, you talked about that. Green, you can do it. I got your back. Hi from Canada. Ooh, that green juice hits you. You know what I mean? Green juice just hits you. Teresa, comedy, yes. Oh, I already mentioned that. I already said that. Have you booked any gigs in Vegas? No, Becky, but that is interesting that you mentioned that. And I'll talk more about this as time progresses. But I had a list of cities that I was going to relocate to. And I can ramble them off right now, but Bellingham, Washington, Park City, Utah, Boise, Idaho. I was going to stay in Bend. Where else was I looking at? Oh, Denver, Colorado, Austin, Texas, and Las Vegas. And I am 99% sure I'm going to be relocating to Vegas. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, Vegas, Jared? Really? I'm going to break it down for you guys right now. I was not prepared to talk about this, by the way. I'm going to break it down Vegas for you, why it makes sense for me. Vegas is I'm getting back into comedy entertainment, as I talked about, and Vegas has all the check boxes that I need. I still want to do adventure and travel, which I'm going to be doing in my Jeep. I'm going to be doing a lot of van life stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot of festivals, gatherings, etc., and so forth. So if you do any type of travel, you want to go out camping, if you drive 4 hours in any direction from Las Vegas, you are in some epic, epic places, like 0 to 4 hours. It's in the middle of nowhere, and I can get to LA, San Diego, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, Reno, all within a half a day drive. So that's the way I'm looking at it. And then it's a major hub for airport. So I can fly out of there very easily, and I can go places that I really want to go to. So that is why Las Vegas for me makes a lot of sense. And obviously the entertainment value. Oh, and it's inexpensive. I also lived there back in 2005. What up, Keytree? My brother. I love you, man. Keytree and I used to work together as valet attendants, as I spoke of earlier when I was working 2 jobs. Turning in for the build and the comedy. Thanks, buddy. I still don't know what van to buy, big or little. Carol, that is a personal question. It's honestly, there is no wrong answer to that, big or small. Honestly, it's really what you feel is necessary. Is it a coincidence that I have gone smaller in every vehicle that I've done? Now, granted, the last one, the Jeep, it is an adventure rig. It is a weekend warrior. So it's a little bit different than a van. However, if I was to do another van, or when I do another van, because I really have gotten the itch to do one, but when I do another van, it'll probably be a 144 Sprinter and or a 136 ProMaster. But I can fit a lot into a small space. So, a lot of people usually go bigger and they go smaller. It also depends what you're going to be using for. Full-time, part-time. You're going to be parking on a lot of government land, Bureau of Land Management land. Are you going to be, my friends call them pavement princesses. Are you going to be doing a lot of city dwelling? Are you going to be doing a lot of things like that? Are you going to be doing a lot of adventuring? So what are you going to be doing? And that's really what you're going to start asking yourself. But instead of asking yourself, should I go big or small? Ask what you're going to be using it for. Kristen, how is your puppy? And you're asking me, how is my puppy? I spoke about this a long time ago. I actually had to get rid of my dog a long time ago. Are you talking about the miniature German Shepherd that I had? Unfortunately, due to an illness, not an illness, but he was very car sick. And at the time I was living full time in the van, and I would take him out, multiple times a day. And it got to the point where he would not go into my van because he was scared of my van. I took him to 2 different veterinarians, 2 different vets, and they both said that he's not going to grow out of the, it's very sad for me to talk about, honestly, but he's not going to grow out of the car sickness. And I could put him on drugs, but his overall happiness would have been, I wouldn't have been happy. I think that his overall happiness would not have been good. So unfortunately, I did give him back to the owners. Let's see here. You're a determined man. I try to think I am. Yes. Entertaining electrician trade. I can't work too many hours until I'm 18, though. Okay, that's fair. Keep it up, though. I love it. I love your tenacity. Am I using that word correctly? The manager of the grocery store never takes a day off. Not sure how he does it. This is true. I'm going to scroll down and kind of skip a few things. Hi from Vancouver. What up? Vancouver, like British Columbia? I love it up there. I love it up there. I can't wait until the borders open back up. I can't wait to go back up to Banff. I want to make it up to Jasper. I'd like to drive up to Alaska. So all that good stuff. If you were a gambler, Vegas will be fantastic for you. Here's the funny part, Steve Clark. I'm not a gambler. I will gamble, but I'm not a gambler. I usually like to say, if you are not a gambler, Vegas is by far the best place to be. Some of the best restaurants in the world. I mean, that we're talking like 5-star Michelin. Is it Michelin? Is that the right word? Chefs in the world some of the best restaurants, some of the best, nightlife in the country, all that good stuff. And, obviously the glitz and the glam with gambling. And I'm a big sports guy. I like watching a bunch of different sports. So I can go to almost any sport. I can start betting on sports, although sports betting is legal now. And also a huge selling point to me is I am a huge hockey fan, and they have a great, great hockey team, the Vegas Golden Knights. So, I'm a Boston Bruin fan because I'm from Boston, but it would be nice to even go to that just arena. And now the Raiders are there, the Las Vegas Raiders. So, I mean, I that's why, the only thing that's missing is a baseball team. I'm a huge baseball fanatic, but I can go to other stadiums for that. I just bought a 1990 Toyota Dolphin. Wow, that's awesome. I love a good Dolphin. It has been turned into a party vehicle. I'm just starting to gut it and think, okay, so you're saying that it was before you had it. That is hilarious. Awesome stuff. Victoria. Hey, but I mean, to each their own, right? I mean, why not turn a Toyota Dolphin into a bachelor or bachelorette type situation? They got it cool. You an agent in Vegas for me? Well, you have my email, Janine. And if I haven't emailed you back, I do apologize. I'm now catching up on emails. I took 2 weeks off of emails because I wanted to finish that damn Jeep, and it's still not done. But I'm taking like a solid 3 weeks off, guys. I'm not touching the Jeep for 3 weeks. So Janine, yes, if you want to email me or get in touch with me in regards to the agent, I would love to kind of talk to one because I kind of need a booking agent. Oh, Steve, I just wrote it down really quick. You said I did say not a gambler. I do apologize. I'm sorry, Steve. You probably did. I probably just missed that word. I did learn how to play a lot of games in the casino when I was a young buck. But my games of choice would be craps, roulette, blackjack. Obviously, I play poker with my friends, but I have not played in a casino setting because I'm scared. And those people are for real when they play in casino settings. So I don't try to mess with those people. But I don't play like 3-card poker. I don't play any of that. I don't play slots. I mean, sometimes for fun, but nothing crazy. Maybe you can build a new van with a trailer to tow your Jeep. No, I wouldn't do that. Like if I did a new van, it wouldn't be an adventure rig because the Jeep is the adventure rig. I would build something more of like a traveling hotel where I can go from city to city. So I wouldn't have to rent hotels or Airbnbs. Keytree, what is up? So that's probably what my next van will be if the comedy career starts going well, which I plan for it to be. I might build another van to travel into cities and be stealth because I'm the king of stealth. I can't put my own title on that. I would also consider doing like a box truck as a traveling stage. How do you guys like that? Matt B, you listen to the Peach Life podcast. Thank you so much. And I have no idea what was said. It was one of those like I blacked out, not that I was drunk or anything. I just it was one of those like I was in the zone. I was so tired from the Jeep build. So thank you, Matt. I really hope I did do a good job. For anybody that has no idea what Matt is talking about, there is a podcast called the Peach Life Podcast. So go and download that podcast. I am on episode 11. Very awesome guy that I did the podcast with. And we talk about a lot of different stuff. I do know that. And I know he cut it down to about an hour's worth of time. We spoke for an hour and 50 minutes. So I have no idea how he knocked off 50 minutes of us just talking. So awesome, really fun podcast. And I can't wait to do it again, to be honest with you. I'm waiting for Alexa to invite me onto her podcast. So Alexa, if you're watching this right now, will you get me onto your darn podcast? And Shane, I haven't been on Shane's podcast yet. What is wrong with these people? Why are not my friends inviting me to their podcast? I don't understand that. You see if I invite them to my podcast. I've been on Marty B's from the van. I've been on his like 3 times. The desert is so beautiful. Some people can't take the dry heat. I love the dry heat. Maybe because of my allergies. Maybe because okay. I didn't know, Jessica, I didn't know those two went hand in hand, but I'm awesome. So true. I lived there for 6 years. Also, have a NASCAR truck and a AAA baseball. They do have a NASCAR truck like track. They do also bring they bring NASCAR there like once a year. AAA baseball team. I forget who they are. Is it from? It's not the Dodgers team. No, because they're in Arizona. So what AAA team is there? What affiliate? If you want to answer, if you know. I'm going to come to Vegas. You better, Keitria, on your opening night. We never got a chance to do it back in the day. It's still on my bucket list. Absolutely, buddy. Um, I would love for you to come, Keitria. You are invited. You're one of my good friends from LA, so 100%, buddy. You are always invited to hang out, and we can do whatever. Keitri's also a semi-new father. How old is your kid now? It's gonna be like a year old, man. No, it's gonna be like 2 years old. Has it gone by that fast, Keitri? Wow. I was about to suggest that to you. Okay, I'd probably, I wonder what you were suggesting. You said you like to dance around a campfire in a Speedo. Matt B, you know what? I wouldn't doubt that I did say that in that Peach Life podcast. You might be correct. I have no idea. What are you going to present on the Utah event in May? Great question, Teresa. What Teresa's talking about is there is a festival called Van Fest, and that's coming up at the end of May, or excuse me, May 8th, and that is going to be in Hurricane, Utah. I am going to be one of the presenters as well as many other people. However, I believe mine is going to be design and layout. I'm going to try and keep it to the point of like getting started because I really feel that a lot of people have a challenge with that. So it'll be like kind of like at the beginning stages of that. I will obviously do a Q&A on towards the end of the seminar or the workshop, but and then you can obviously ask me whatever you want. But that is probably what my focus is going to be, is kind of the beginning stages of the design and layout, and kind of walking everybody through that as time progresses. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. And to be honest with you, Teresa, I'm actually probably doing the same workshop at the following week festival, which is Tiny Fest. I will also be at Tiny Fest the 14th, 15th, and 16th, and that'll be in San Diego or Del Mar if you really want to be technical. Matt B, I know you're kidding, don't worry. What college did I graduate from? I went to Wentworth Institute of Technology. Funny story. They just paid me for a ad or advertisement on my social media accounts. So interesting that I kind of use their degree, but I also I don't work for a big major corporation, which they kind of try to get you to do while you're in school and set you up for a job after the fact. But I don't work for that. I run my own business. So I found it very ironic, I guess you could say, that my college paid me for that, which was really cool. I do love Wentworth. It was a very hands-on school. It's in Boston, Massachusetts. So I actually lived at home. I'm still paying off school. So Wentworth, thank you for contributing towards my student debt because I really needed some help with that. Hello, sports and gambling. I'm going to butcher your first name, so I don't want to say that whole thing. Las Vegas Aviators, Steve Clark. But what is their AAA affiliate? Like who's their pro team? Who are they affiliated with? Maybe because of the Speedo comment, your friends Alexa and Shane are afraid to invite you. LOL. I do. I don't doubt that. I didn't. Obviously, Matt was kidding, but if anything, I think Alexa and Shane would want me on with that comment because I've seen them dance around fires. I'm just kidding. They have not. I'm going to both Utah and San Diego. Great. I will. I'll be there. The Utah event's gonna be a little weird only because their format is a little interesting. They're having me do the thingamajiggy, the workshop several times throughout the day. Whereas the San Diego one, I'm doing one workshop, hour long, done and done. You're volunteering in San Diego. That's pretty awesome. Where is that college located? Boston. Yeah, I think you heard me say that though. But yes, it's in the city of Boston. It's right next to the College of Northeastern, which is a big school in the Northeast. So it's called Northeastern. Wentworth Institute of Technology, a really good school. Again, it was small when I went there. Most importantly to me, it was accredited. An accredited school for an engineer or construction management or architectural engineer or something along those lines, it is important. Oh, it's Oakland's AAA affiliate. I did not know that. That's interesting. Jeez, everybody from Oakland going over to Vegas. Ouch. I was referencing the Raiders there, everybody. Greetings from Sweden. I don't know any builders in the UK, unfortunately. I would love to get to know some, but I don't know them hands-on. I'm actually about to do a tour with a lovely couple in Montenegro. I've got a bunch of footage of theirs, and we're going to do a Zoom chat. So that is going to be exciting. But they built it all themselves. The UK is obviously very different than, or Europe, I should say. Europe is very different in a van build than the States is, or Canada, or Australia. So it's going to be tough, especially in Sweden, mostly because of imported parts and things that you need for a van. But I do want to get to Sweden. I want to get to Sweden, Finland. I want to get up in that area. And, you know, I think over the next couple of years, I do want to start traveling abroad and definitely checking those places out. I would love to stay in Sweden during like the Northern Light time, like when they're the brightest, which I think is winter. Is that correct? My person from Sweden, you can tell me that. Squirrel Lips, good to see you, man. How is the neighborhood there? I'm assuming you are asking about Wentworth because you were the one that asked about Wentworth earlier. And also, by the way, did you ever look into Tiny Home Company in Tennessee? Into the Tiny Home Company in Tennessee? Name it again, please, for me. I probably did look into it, but how I look into it is almost like I'm going to check them out. I'm going to like see them and then, you know, just like if their website is kind of there, like I'm not going to fly to Tennessee to go and check them out, although that would be cool. The neighborhood around the Boston area where Wentworth is good. I mean, I walked everywhere. I walked around at night. It wasn't that bad. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is now. It's been 15 years since I graduated, but it was good back then. I loved it a lot. I guess it would be like in the Fenway. Also, Back Bay area is really, really nice, which was right down the street. I actually worked as a valet attendant at several different restaurants in that area while going to school. So it was fine. I didn't have a problem with that area. I'm really selling Wentworth. They owe me a lot more money than what they gave me. Am I full-time van life? Omar, no, I am not right now. I am part-time. But I'm not even van life technically. I did full-time van life for 3.5 years in a ProMaster and in a oh my goodness, a Sprinter. But I'm friends with a lot of van builders. I am friends with a lot of companies that sell van life products. I do a lot of videos in regards to all of that, and I built out an overlanding Jeep of recent. And I believe that the overlanding tiny home and van life community is one, or should be, one big happy family instead of pinning us against each other. But I believe that is pretty much what I'm trying to do with my channel. Steve Clark, your Blue Yeti arrived yesterday. You should be excited. That thing is probably massive and it's probably great. From what I understand, it is a beast of a machine. Hey, still in Costa Rica, missing your lives. Good to see you. Nice to see you too, Kimberly Becker. I knew you said something. I just wanted to catch up to you. Much love from Raleigh, North Carolina. Question. Okay. Would you recommend saving for a van or go small with a medium-sized truck trailer, 8x6-ish, and use that till it doesn't go big? You know, that's a great question. For me, I can just only because it's kind of like a personal preference kind of a question, right? Incredible tiny homes. Okay, I'll check that out. I brought a notepad. Check this out. I brought a notepad to write stuff down. So, Incred tiny homes. You like that? Boom. Came prepared this time. So It's a personal preference only because for me, I was the type of person that wanted to save up, and I'm kind of bougie, right? So I wanted as much as I could at that moment, and I saved up and I bought a van, or I financed the van, and then I paid for the build cash, and I was going to do it myself. So that's kind of the only thing that's a little, I guess, different from me to a lot of other people. But there are a lot of people that will do what you mentioned before, like, should I just do a smaller truck or trailer or something along those lines and then build up to it? I'm the type of person, if you want to do van life, stick to your guns and go with van life. But if you want to do a truck and trailer like that, it's just a different, we're under the same umbrella, but they're two different lifestyles, if that makes sense. Um, I went camping with my buddy Christian that has a van, and I had my Jeep, and it's a very different lifestyle, living in an overlanding style or living in a van. So just try and keep that in mind. And the truck and trailer might be more so like separate spaces kind of situation. I hope that really helps. I have no idea if that helped. I'm just about to start my van build, and I have no experience. Do you have any tips on a total noob? Thanks from the UK. Take your time, do some research. Do not listen to just one person. So if I give you advice on something, please go and kind of fact check that. Go and check, or if you watched any of my videos on like how to do something, go and fact check that. And that goes for everybody else in that space as well. We are, and I'm kind of bashing myself here. We are just YouTubers, right? Yes, I have a degree in architectural engineering, so I may know some things. Yes, I've been doing this for 3.5 years as a living full time, and I've been in the industry for almost 5 years. So yes, do I know a little bit more than most? Probably so. But with that being said, it's still nice to kind of fact check things. I use the analogy of I was raised like a baseball player, right? And I learned how to play baseball from my father was first. Then I went to a little league coach, which happened to be my father. Then I went to a middle school coach, high school coach, college coach. I had summer league coaches, all that different stuff. I learned how to play baseball from all different types of people, but I made the game myself. So that's kind of the analogy I use when it comes to van building or any type of things that you're going to be learning. You're going to be taking ideas and thoughts and a bunch of different things from a bunch of different people and making it your own. But with that all being said, take your time, be patient, learn how to do things in a timely manner, but at the same time, just make sure that if you get overwhelmed with something, don't be afraid to hire somebody. I feel that asking for help is not the worst thing, and there's no shame in asking for somebody's help. So also keep that in mind. Like, I did my first van with my dad. I asked for people's help. When it came to my second van, I didn't even do my own electrical system. Didn't want to, so I paid somebody else to do it. So hopefully that helps. Frankie Jr., how much does your architecture schooling experience degree influence your van and overlanding builds? Phew, a solid majority, definitely. How much? I don't know exactly how much, but I would say that my degree almost helped me think outside the box when it comes to design, and I think the experience has probably helped me more than the degree itself. Being inside so many vans and being a part of 30 something like vans builds, so seeing that over and over again in different ideas and different thoughts and different designs definitely has helped. Katri, yeah, you got to come to Las Vegas. I don't know. Oh, for SEMA, definitely got to come for SEMA. I should be going as media. I have not submitted anything. But yeah, Katri, I'm going to call your old college and tell them to cut you a check. I wish they would, but there's no way that they would. Research. Frankie Jr., you're absolutely right when it comes to that. And figure out what you need more than what you want, 100%. If you have the funds, maybe rent, a van and see what you want, or even take out like your van after you buy it and then take it out on a trip. Like, just go get lost for like one day. I'm not saying like the wilderness. Just take it out with what you think you need and then have it empty. Just have it bare. And you'll find out very quickly what you do and you don't need. I'll tell you that right now. What's up from the Netherlands? And I didn't do import my van. Victron has a product from the Netherlands. Awesome. 8020 is also called ALUX profile here. That's good to know. You can also buy the Max Air fan from Europe. 100%. There are products and things that we use in the States that actually I get are European based. So there's ways, again, there's easy ways to do that. Let's see here. So you mentioned you're writing some new stuff for your comedy shows. Are you planning to stick with the Eastern Boston vibe or all new stuff? I'm probably going to keep with my same style. That is me. That is part of me. So I'm not going to change who I am. But that is an excellent question. Will I cuss as much? Probably not, because I'm only going to swear when I think it is proper or not like needed. We don't ever need to swear, right? But part of that Boston lingo is the F word is just like part of our vocabulary. It's kind of crazy. So the more I hang out there, then the more of it comes out. And I can talk with my accent anytime I want, but I don't do that. And when I go home, it comes out wicked thick. And I can't, it's hard for me to not even go into an accent mode without saying the F word. So I don't want to do that. I know you forgot to check it out. Yes, I did. You called me out on it, but I wrote it down now. I wrote it down. Thank you. Calling me out. All Dometic products are available in Europe. 100%, Marco. You're absolutely right. I have a Dometic fridge and sink, actually, in my new build. Budget-friendly fridge. What size do you want? I'm looking up, like the answer's up there, but we all do that. You know, ARB, Dometic, I would definitely stick with a 12 volt. You know, you'll regret it if you don't. I'll put it that way. Just so you know, when you visit Sweden, there are some van lifers, and Van Life Sweden are a great couple. How does a podcast interviews if you want to meet some real van lifers that they speak English? You know, if you send them my profile, like Instagram, or send me their profile, I will reach out to them, and I would love to do a podcast with them. I would, when I do travel abroad or travel overseas or whatever you want to call it, I would like to, you know, do a van rental in those places. I think that would be really cool and interesting to do van life in different countries. I'm still very scared of Australia because I don't like insects and I don't like things that can kill me in an instant. So that is one thing that I'm a little worried about Australia. However, I would love to get to New Zealand. New Zealand seems like it would be really, really cool. And when I say I'm scared of insects, like I'm not really, but like, you know, a spider the size of my head would freak me out. Let's see here. Another question. Would you recommend approaching companies for collaborations? They give you a battery. I love this question, where it's going. Here we go. You guys are going to get a rant from me. They give you a battery for promotion on YouTube build video, or keep things out of the things in-house, only buying what you need. Okay, here is the thing. Okay. I don't reach out to companies. I don't like to reach out to companies because then I feel like I'm obligated to do something. Now, my moral compass isn't the same as a lot of other people. I actually like to do videos with companies, and I don't mind buying it. Okay, now if they give it to me, great, I will take it, right? But a large amount of people in the last year think that their following and their influence is allowing them to get free product. And now when I call up a company, not my name is tarnished, but the pitch is tarnished, because I've called up companies and you can hear their deflation in their voice when I'm like, hey, my name is Jared Tachi. I run a van life YouTube channel, or I run a YouTube channel based on tiny living. And immediately they're just like, oh, here we go again. And I've actually asked them, I said, hey, how many calls have you gotten about getting free products in trade for a video or a post? And they have told me, all of them have told me, anywhere between 5 to 15 per week. That is ridiculous. And I'm not saying don't do that, but like, I'm saying don't do that. We don't need to do that in regards for free product. Now, I worked my tail off for 3 years before I got to this point. And yes, I could reach out to any company and get free product. That portable diesel heater that I have for my Jeep now, I bought that for $1,200. And for me, how I actually started was it actually started with Rely On. I know somebody just mentioned Rely On. For me, I actually did a video on the Rely On batteries after I bought them. And then all these companies started hitting me up. Hey, can you talk about us stuff, this stuff, whatever? And then Rely On brought me on as a brand ambassador. And as a brand ambassador, yes, I do have access to free product, but Rely On and me built that relationship. So instead of asking for immediate stuff, I say it's better to build a relationship with a company that you can trust. Even my tent, they gave me a discount, but I paid for it. I definitely paid for it. Everything on my Jeep has been bought with the exception of the solar, because the panel was a gift from Sunflare Solar. But I was eyeing that solar panel for, I don't know, a year before that. And then Rely On hooked me up. And then Light Harvest Solar, because I've done so many videos with them in the past, he gifted me the stuff that I put together in my solar kit, all the components, all the Victron components, and the wire, and all that stuff. But I did like 5 videos for him. Never asked him for anything. I actually told him to send me an invoice, and he sent me a blank invoice. And he said, thank you for everything you've done for me. So that is what I'm about. I'm about building those relationships and trying to, instead of asking for like, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get this in return. I know it costs more money doing it that way, but I haven't read any of these comments. I'm hoping you guys don't blow me up too badly. All right. How is Tiny Watt Solar doing? Are they doing more tours with built? Are you going to do more tours with builders? How is Tiny Watt Solar doing? They're doing great. They are going to release a massive like video soon. I think they hired a production or something with a production team. I don't really know much about it, but they are doing good. And yes, I'm doing many tours with builders. I have a scheduled tour with Nomadic Cooling. I'm going to see Mark from Nomadic Customs in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to reach out to a couple other builders in the area that I'm in right now, and not only builders in regards to the van space, but also tiny home as well. So very excited for the next, like, I think it's 3 or 4 months that I have planned out, and it's very exciting. So what do we got here? Calling out with love here in New York, losing some quality sleep time to watch and chat. Thank you so much. It's 10 o'clock over in New York. You go to bed this early? I know, I'm a night owl. So hello from the West. Okay, thank you. Cindy, I appreciate that you love my van tours. Rely On just came out with a 300 amp hour battery. Matt, they've actually had that a little while, but that's okay. Maybe their new low temperature one. Is it better to get one battery or 3 100 amp? That's a great question. I know it would be easier to hook up one. Yes, it is much easier to hook up one battery than it is for 3. However, it depends on the size of your inverter because of the continuous thingamajiggy. You'd have to talk to the solar experts over at Light Harvest Solar about that, because they have something to do with discharge and amperage and continuous. Something about the 300 doesn't pack as much punch as 3 separate 100s. I know that doesn't make sense, but it is for whatever reason. Patrick, I do not know what you mean by that, but okay. Will you be at Tiny Fest San Diego with your new Jeep? Yes, I absolutely will. Aloha from Hawaii. I want to get out to Hawaii and do some van life out there, to be honest with you. Did you know some of the most ghetto builds are in Hawaii? I actually, yeah, I mean, but Hawaiians, man, you guys are like MacGyvers over there. And if people that don't know that reference, it's an old show. I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the original MacGyver. Yes, you guys can really do some crazy stuff over there with some like little amount of material. I'm very proud of you. I would love to get over there and check out Hawaii and the van life over in Hawaii. Holy crap, I've been talking for 40 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. I was only going to go for 30 minutes today. Oh, man. I like talking to you guys too much. What is the best brand of toilet paper on the road? Patrick, you're one of those. The fact that you choose, oh, and by the way, probably soft toilet paper if you really want to know, and or wet like wet wipes, like baby wipes or anything of that nature. If you know, since you asked, I might as well tell you, because you know, if you're gonna ask a stupid question, expect a stupid answer, as my dad used to say. Respect. I'm reading one of the things. Let's see here. Okay, that's that. The fact that you choose not to hit up companies for free products, but rather build a honest reviews and feedback makes me love you even more. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I wish more people knew that, to be honest with you. I wish people understood that everything that I do show on my channel, not only do I test out and use, I do a lot of research on it. I definitely I do a lot. I don't know what to say about that other than I do a lot, and it's kind of crazy. Did someone just super chat me? Kim Jones, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate you. Much love, much love. Keytree, what do you want, Keytree? Recommendations for van builders in the Boston area. My boy Nick, Nick at Exploration Van Works. Boom. He's actually, I think he's visiting the West Coast right now. Also, Nirvana Upfitters. I haven't talked to them in a long time, but Nirvana Upfitters is actually right outside the city. I believe they're in like Natick or Framingham or something. Maybe a little bit further up, maybe Andover. Anyways, Nirvana Upfitters, they're also, from what I understand, really good, but I have not really, I've seen their vans, but only through pictures and that nature. But yes, those two are my two East Coast contacts. What do you think about the Yeti 6000? Maple Leafs Life. First off, I believe you're a hockey fan. I have a hockey shirt on right now, but that's not my team. I just like the shirt. Maple Leafs Life. I think it's great. The Yeti 6000 is a massive system. I personally would rather go with the Blue Yeti personally. I just think it's a better, well-equipped machine, but can't go wrong with Goal Zero. But you're going to be spending a pretty penny on that. Thank you, Janine. I appreciate you. Yeah, I take my time with sponsorships and working with certain companies. I'll put it this way: like I could have gotten any tent that I wanted, right? But I went with Desert Armor because of a different reason. Cheers from Hungary. Holy Christmas. 3:15 night owl. I love it, Simon. What's the weather like in Hungary? I'm curious because I don't know. I should know climates in different countries, but very interesting. And thank you. Cheers. I'm gonna go have a beer on you. Thank you. Well, after my green juice that I barely drank. What was this question? Do you think I can install 2 of those big Solaria panels on a Mercedes 170? Yeah, I actually think you can. Also depends if you're going to have any roof vents. With a roof vent, might be tough. I don't know the exact dimensions of those panels, but I believe that the dimensions are pretty available if you either hit up Solaria or if you hit up Light Harvest Solar, anybody of that nature. They should have a a lot of dimensions is what I'm trying to say. I got distracted by another super chat, so I'm going to go check that out. Oh, Taga? I don't want to. I've been reading all your questions. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. Cheap land off grid. Okay. I scrolled way down, so I may have missed a bunch of things, guys. So I got to catch up. I'm going to single-handedly build a truck camper from scratch. Thanks for the inspiration to do it. 100%. For years, I've been going to do a van like you, but it would be looking like a truck camper overcab. I love it. I love it, Green. Keep it up. I know that you are the under 18-year-old, and I can't wait to see what our future generations come up with for inspiring us. My old bum. My old fart bum. I'm such an old man. I'll be 38 next month, believe it or not, guys. Do you have any opinion on? I don't know those batteries. I am sorry, but I do like the Rely On batteries. Obviously, I'm a brand ambassador for them. I'm an affiliate with Lion. I think they make a good battery. However, their power source not so much. Battleborn is the other third major brand in the States. I can't get behind them, not as much as I can the other two companies. Here I am leaning back like a boss. Oh crap! What was the first night like an original Ghost? My goodness, that is such a good question, Nathan. I'm going to answer that question and just a couple more because I'm at the 45-minute mark. So, how prepared were you? How scared were you? Such an awesome question, man. Oh my God, I love that question. It was one of the scariest experiences of my life. My first night, I remember this, man. Oh my goodness. My first night ever in a van life. Well, I should take that back because we drove cross country. I built it in Boston with my dad. My brother and I drove cross country. So we were actually driving together and we pulled over random places to sleep. One night, actually, it was right outside of like St. George, Utah. We slept in some hotel parking lot. And my brother wakes me up at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And he's like, dude, the van was just shaking. And I'm like half asleep. And we get coffee, we hit the road. And about an hour into us hitting the road, it's like sun's rising. And my brother turns to me and he goes, yeah, I think I was just hallucinating. And the van was not shaking. What a butthead. But anyways, and then when I got to LA, my first night sleeping in the van, I slept in front of a police station in Hollywood, and I barely slept. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was tough. I would say the first like few days was kind of like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Why are these people walking past my van? I would always like look out the windows, see what was around me. And once you start to understand that nobody cares, then you sleep like a baby. And then when you start to realize that like there's no difference between a van wall and like a studio apartment on the ground floor of a building. There is no difference. So when you get that into your head, you kind of feel a lot better. And yeah, and I was good from there. You know, noises outside after that didn't bother me. I actually had my bumper peed on a few times living in the city. So great question. I didn't want to answer it that much, but that was really awesome, man. I love answering those kind of questions. Do you think it was better to go with a multiple solar generation versus building a battery system? I actually built a battery system in my Ghost or the Jeep, and it really depends on how you want to do it. I originally was going to use a solar generator, but with how I wanted to do it, I felt like building one would be cooler. So that's why I did it. But I think with the new solar generators, like the big Yetis and the Blue Eddies and things like that, I really think it's really possible to run an entire van. And I think they're only going to get bigger and better. It's just really how you kind of like using a fuse block properly and kind of having it plugged in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So using like Anderson cables instead of the 12-volt plug. So you kind of just have to figure it out. It's a heck of a lot easier than doing building your own, if that makes sense. Is it best to put a fan in the front or the back or the middle? It's a space that's extremely small. I say wherever your bed is going to be. I feel that is the best place to have the fan, and people are going to disagree with me here and say no, wherever the kitchen's going to be. Guess what? When you're cooking, that air is going to rise, or the steam's going to whatever, and that's going to go into the ceiling, and then your fan will suck out that the cooking while you're cooking anyways, no matter front, back, middle, it doesn't matter. So the reason I have it over my bed is to cool myself down at night or give myself some fresh air at night. So that's why I say over the bed, wherever that may be, front, middle, or back. All right, just a couple more questions, guys, and then I'm going to call it a night. I'd love to ask a female that question. Is a great point. I wonder, maybe next time I have a female on my live stream with me, I will try and remember that question whether and what was their first night like. But to be honest with you, a lot of the girls that I know that live in vans, they're bosses. They're straight G's, man. They're freaking awesome. Um, they handle it probably better than I did. I can tell you that. No, I think we all take safety as a serious topic, but I think they handle it a lot better than most. Um, I'd love to hear you make some music. Any plans? Jeff, I don't, have I ever talked about making music? What kind of music? Like, no, I don't do music. I do comedy, but I don't do music. I can try, but I don't have any rhythm, or I don't have any, what's the word I'm looking for? I have none of that. I can't dance, can't sing. I can maybe do some Neil Diamond. You know Neil Diamond? Or things like that. Favorite comic special of all time, or comedic special of all time? Ooh, ooh. I would probably say one of the Dave Chappelle specials, and this is very recent. I'm trying to think, or like one of the old school Eddie Murphy ones. I know he had Raw and Delirious. I don't know which one is which, but one of those they were epic. And then I would have to say probably the comeback of Dave Chappelle, just because it had so much meaning behind it, and he's so darn good. He is so darn good. And you can't even hold a candle to him. It's hard to do that on a live stream. I'd have to have an audience in front of me, because I am very audience driven. Right now, I would say once I get back on stage, I took a little time off. Once I get back on stage and I get a little more comfortable with the timing of everything and all my jokes landing properly, and just all that stuff, then I would consider doing a live 100%. Let's see. You're 35 and you grew up. I'm skipping to the super chat because Jeff, you keep on hooking me up and I'm trying to get off. You keep on giving me great super chats. So you said you're 35 and you grew up on cassette dance mix 95. Is that weird? I'm still jamming to it. No, not weird at all. It does feel nice. I mean, hey, more power to you. Absolutely. I was born in 1983, so I grew up through the 90s. So I'm 2 years older than you. And yeah, I mean, oh man, I just went to Blockbuster, the last Blockbuster in Bend, because that's where I live, and I'm trying to do a video with them. I'm gonna try and do a tour of Blockbuster. How cool would that be? Would you guys like to see that? The remaining people that are on here, would you guys like to see a tour of the last remaining Blockbuster? Although the Netflix special of the Blockbuster one is phenomenal. But I walked in Blockbuster and I just got to check it out, and it brought back so many memories, guys. Oh, it was so awesome. I used to go to Blockbuster as a kid, and I had high school dates, and we used to pick out movies, and just I see all the yeses on there. Yes, I am so with all of you. I can't. I'm gonna do that. I think Christian's gonna be my videographer that day, and he's gonna hold my camera, and we're just gonna walk around Blockbuster. I'm gonna tour it. I'm waiting for their response to give me permission to do this. That's all I'm waiting for, guys. Be kind, rewind. Yes. Oh, I absolutely bought one of their sweatshirts. I ordered it online because when I went into the store, they didn't have my size. So I ordered one of their Blockbuster sweatshirts online. I'm so excited. You guys can just see my face. I'm so excited to do more of that. And I definitely have to do that before I leave Bend. But it's the last remaining Blockbuster. And if you guys haven't watched that documentary, it's a fascinating documentary on Netflix. Jeff, what do you got? Your thoughts on hiring a nice professional? Oh, come on. You can't. I mean, I love the super chat, bud, but no, no, I would not do that. Don't do that. Jeff, you gotta stop, bud. I appreciate the super chat though, but try and stick with appropriate questions, please. Although you tried to word it very kindly. I do appreciate that. Jessica, you worked at Blockbuster. I miss having my own shelf with the recommendations. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, do you remember they used to charge for not rewinding the tapes? You remember that, Kim? Oh my goodness. You, me, and Cindy. Yes, I actually have her business card in the other room with all of her information, which I can't show you guys because it has all of her information on it, but it is so funny. Country song. What is my favorite country song, Jeff? I actually don't listen to a lot of music, and I respect a lot of music, but I do not have a favorite country song because I just I don't listen to a lot of I appreciate country. I appreciate all of the genres, but I don't particularly just go out of my way to listen to country. So I don't have a favorite country song. Appreciate the question though. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be here next Wednesday. I'm going to try to do it around the same time, 6 p.m. I will count on at 6:30 today. So be kind and rewind. I'm going to use that as like a saying now. That tour will be coming in the months to come or weeks to come. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you guys later. All right. Have a good night.